Welcome to Narrations, where stories come alive and nightmares never end. Tonight, we step into a quiet Detroit neighborhood that hides a terrifying secret, something that walks toward you, no matter how far you run. This is It Follows, 2014. It begins on an ordinary street, lined with trees and calm silence. A young woman named Annie bursts out of her house, barefoot and terrified. She looks around wildly, as if something invisible is chasing her. Her father calls after her, confused, but she doesn't stop. She runs in circles, gasping for air, before speeding off in her car. Hours later, she sits alone on a deserted beach, headlights illuminating her pale face. She calls her parents to say she loves them, and the next morning, her broken body lies on the sand, her legs twisted at impossible angles. Not far away, we meet Jay Height, a 19-year-old girl who's content with the small joys of summer, swimming in the backyard pool, talking with her sister Kelly and friends Paul and Yara. She's recently started dating a quiet guy named Hugh. On their first date, they play a little game. Each tries to guess which stranger in the crowd they trade lives with. But when it's Hugh's turn, he freezes. His expression turns cold. He insists they leave immediately. Jay looks around, but there's no one strange nearby. The tension lingers. Days later, they go on another date. This time, it's by an abandoned factory. They laugh, drink, and end up making love in the back seat of Hugh's car. What happens next will change Jay's life forever. Hugh moves behind her, and presses a chloroform-soaked cloth to her face. Jay's world fades to black. When she wakes, she's tied to a wheelchair, surrounded by shadows and flickering light. Hugh stands nearby, shaking, desperate to explain. "I passed it to you," he says. "It's going to follow you now. You can't get rid of it, unless you pass it to someone else." Jay struggles to understand. Hugh tells her there's something out there, something that can look like anyone, even people she knows. It moves slowly, but it never stops. "Don't let it touch you," he warns, "or you'll die." And as if to prove it, a naked woman appears in the distance, walking toward them across the parking lot, her eyes locked on Jay. He wheels her closer to make sure she sees. Then he drives her home, leaving her shaking in terror. The next morning, Jay tells her sister and friends what happened, but no one believes her. The police find no sign of Hugh. The address he gave was fake. Jay tries to move on, but something is always there, someone standing in the distance, slowly walking straight toward her. At school, she looks out the window and sees an old woman in a hospital gown walking directly at her. She flees, terrified, realizing Hugh was right. Her friends gather around, worried but skeptical. That night, they stay over at Jay's house to protect her. As the night deepens, they hear footsteps, heavy, deliberate. A strange, tall man ducks through the doorway, his eyes white and empty. He grabs Jay's hair, invisible to everyone else. The group screams and runs. Now they all believe. The friends escape to Greg's family lake house, hoping to outrun whatever is following her. For a moment, they find peace. Jay swims in the cool water, the sun bright above, until she sees something emerging from the woods. A pale woman, drenched, slowly walking into the lake. Jay screams. The creature grabs her hair again, dragging her underwater. Paul and Greg pull her out, but it's too strong, too persistent. They flee once again. After the chaos, Jay decides to do what Hugh did, pass the curse on. She sleeps with Greg, a friend she trusts, hoping it will follow him instead. But days later, she sees the entity walking toward Greg's house in broad daylight. It now looks like his own mother, moving stiffly, unnaturally. When Greg answers the door, it leaps on him, killing him instantly. Jay watches in horror. There's no escaping it. Desperate, Jay and her friends come up with a plan: lure the entity into a public pool and electrocute it. They fill the pool with lamps, TVs, and toasters, surrounding it with extension cords. Jay steps into the water, heart pounding. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the lights flicker. Invisible hands begin hurling the electronics at her. Paul shoots blindly at the creature until a bullet lands, and the pool turns red with blood. The friends stare into the water, unsure if it's over. Days pass. Jay and Paul finally sleep together, bound by fear and hopeless understanding. Later, they walk down the quiet suburban street, hand in hand. The camera drifts behind them. A figure follows at a steady, silent pace, too far to see clearly, too close to ignore. The curse, it seems, never ends. It Follows isn't just about a supernatural entity, it's about the fear that never leaves, the guilt that clings to us, the slow, inevitable approach of death itself. Every shadow, every step behind you, becomes a reminder that something is coming. Always. Thank you for watching It Follows, 2014, a chilling reminder that no one ever truly escapes what's coming for them. If you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations for more full movie stories all October long. And remember, don't look back.